Guys, I'm super excited. We're going to be talking about social media tonight, the copy and paste parties, and how you can use AI to grow your business. But before we get started, since it's the Father's Day meeting, I wanted to share with you a quote that my papa always said. You can do the work and you can do all the things, but does it pay? Because he wasn't convinced that Tupperware paid. And I want you guys to think about this. When you're working your business, when you're sitting there playing on your phone, when you're scrolling, when you're maybe playing with your catalogs, putting together stuff, is that actually paying you? Or are you just doing it to do something with your time? So if you're just posting and ghosting, like you post up there and you never comment back, that's not making you money, right? If all you're doing is putting up AI and people aren't commenting, that's not making you money. If your post is there and no one's commenting, that's not making you money. So that's when you really need to stop and think, okay, if it's not working, let's pivot and try something else. And tonight I'm going to show you how you can easily pivot using a new AI that Pam introduced me to last week. I was super excited. I was at her house helping her with something. And then she's like, Ashley told me about this AI. And I was like, well, what is it? And her daughter works with all this cool stuff. And she showed me, we downloaded it within 10 minutes. Pam and I were like, yep, we need a training on this. It's too cool not to have. And I know Jessica is going to love this one. So, Jessica, you need to download this app when you get off this. You're going to love it. Next slide, please. So the first idea when you're using this AI, if you are stuck in a rut on your post, you're like, nothing's working, what do I do? You're going to use this AI tool. I'm going to tell you what it is at the end to evaluate your post. So when you're working it, let's say you're like, you know what? I'm feeling really confident in my posting. I love these copy and paste ideas. But you know what? I want to try it on my own. We're going to encourage you. If you want to do that, we're all going to celebrate you and cheer you on. So I used it to evaluate the copy and paste posts that we have. And when you're doing the evaluation, I want you guys to write this down. I love evaluating on, is it eye-catching? Is it engaging to my audience? Is it salesy or is it value-driven? So when you're talking about that, you want it to rate you high on scroll stopping, because if your post is not going to stop the scroll, especially on a busy feed when people are scrolling like this at night and they're half watching, if it's not stopping, it's not working for you. You want it to be engaging, meaning does your post ask a question, or is it just here's a sales flyer and here's my link, right? Because if you do that, it might work, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work for you. So you really want to make sure you're asking a question to engage your audience. And it can be as simple as, what's your favorite special? So instead of just posting your link, take that sales flyer if you want and ask, what's your favorite special? Because then you're starting to learn what people are liking. So you can message them saying, hey, would you like a link to check out all the other specials going on? Or if it's a featured item, that Bonnie was talking about a lot, because a lot of times our specials right now, they might not be on sale, but they're featured. So to me, it's still a special because it's featured. And those ones I get super excited about. I know sometimes people are like, it's not on sale, I don't want it. I do a happy dance and I text me, I'm like, I'm so excited it's not on sale and it's featured because I'm gonna use that today at parties. So with that chopper or the shredder right now, you can use that today at parties again, because guess what? It is full price. It is not on sale. Anyone that's like, I need that, I missed out, I want that, you can message them saying, hey Pam, you want to try a party to earn that? 9 times out of 10, especially when it's a featured item and they can earn it, they're probably going to want to date a party with you. And then on that same note, I want my post to be value driven and not salesy. What that means is, if I'm just posting a picture with a sale price, unless I have talked about that product with my customers in the past, they're probably not going to want it. Because if you guys saw that picture of that shredder right now, right? That's all over. If you just saw that picture, would you really want that? Let me put in the comments. If you just saw the picture, you want you to pretend you've never seen the demos of it. You've never seen Johnny do that fun demo she did on it. You haven't seen any of the demos, no videos, no nothing. You just saw that picture. Would you want it? Probably not, right? Because you're like, well, okay, it's just another shredder. But it's cool. You can do the coarse and the fine ground on it. You can use it for veggies. You can use it for nuts. And it also has the lid. So people that love it, but they're like, now I gotta go find another container. Now my whole Tupperware cabinet's falling out when I'm trying to find a matching lid and a bowl. Now all they have to do is put that lid on there and it's all together. Like, how cool is that? And what sells that is the demo. And it's not being salesy because you're showing the value behind it on how you can see it in action and really immerse them like you would at a home party. And then you want to lead asking if your post is going to lead to orders. So if they saw this, because this AI is like, I love the way it talks about it, and it says leads to orders, pain points and solutions and urgency make this a 9 out of 10 order driving collection. So it's really telling you if your post and the questions you're asking, is it going to lead to that? Or is it more about being salesy? And it's saying mine's like a balance because there's other posts that are not in the screenshot here because it wouldn't fit that were more salesy-esque. Because at a party, just like if you're at a home party, when you're talking about the products, you're demoing and you're leading with the value. But at the end, with anything in sales, you have to close the deal. So at some point, you're going to have to hand them the catalog and you have to hand them the order form, or online, you would, instead of an order form, you would do a link unless you still do an order form for online parties. So either way, at some point, you're going to have something that's salesy, but all of your posts in a party should not be salesy. Because that would mean if you went to a home party, you'd stand up there in front of everyone, hand out a catalog, and be like, okay, who's ready to order? You want to do that, so don't do it at a Facebook party. Next post, please. Or next slide. So you can also use this platform to come up with a content map. So what Jenny was talking about, all those fun barbecue ideas for Father's Day and all that, I asked it to come up with a content map for Father's Day for the next 10 days using posts and reels. And I really want you guys to write that down. Right now on Facebook, they are wanting both. So sometimes it's like, I only want pictures. Sometimes they only want videos. Right now, they are favoring both and they want you to do both, because I've gotten different badges on my page, notifications that, yep, you're doing videos, they like it, but you're also doing posts, and they're really excited about that. And I have not seen that one come through in a long time. So I'm really excited that they're wanting both. So just make sure you're giving, the algorithm is asking for something, we want to feed that. So make sure you're doing, like, a post would be any type of just text or pictures, and then a reel is any type of video. So anytime you upload a video, it's considered a reel on Facebook. So the content it gave us for day one, it was dad inspired meal prep using Tupperware. Day two was a post that's just text that says, what's your dad's go-to snack? You can even add a fun picture with, like, your dad, grandpa, a special guy in your life holding a big Tupperware bowl filled with their favorite snack. 3 was making a simple recipe dad would have loved, or maybe you can even, if your dad's here, you can make it with him. Like, how fun would that be as a special memory? Another idea it suggested was something that dad taught you in the kitchen. Something else it said was cooking a dad's favorite dish, showing us a piece of Tupperware that maybe your dad had. Father's Day prep with Tupperware. Snacks packed on it for on the go weekend, showing how they're using grilling. So all those fun ideas that Jenny said, if I was Jenny and she was going to do all those recipes, I would break each of those into a separate day. So instead of doing them all one video, I would do one with the chocolate, one with the fruit, one with the meat and cheese, and all the other ones that looked amazing. I need to come over there and snack. But all those different ones, if you're doing Father's Day content, 4th of July, if you are hosting any type of party, and let's say you're making 5 recipes for it, video those, take pictures, whatever you want to do. That is 5 days of content. If it's 5 different recipes, that is 5 days of content. So when you're like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, think about what you're already making. So let's say you're making dinner. Let's say you made a main course entree, maybe you made an appetizer, maybe you made a side dish and a dessert. To me, that is 4 pieces of content. So just because you're doing a meal with 3 different things doesn't mean you need to show all of it in that one reel. You can split that up into 3 reels, a reel and 2 pictures, however you want to do it. So just really getting, and if you're feeling stuck, ask AI, like, hey, I'm stuck, give me some content for this concept. Next slide, please. And then you can also ask it what's trending. So I just said for Father's Day, what would be trending for this on social media right now? So it said a quick before and after. So you can show a before and after. Like if you're, let's say you bought a bunch of module mates, right? You can show your messy pantry, close the doors, reopen it, and now it's all organized. That would be a fun reel. With the fridge smarts being on sale right now, I would show, if you have it, rotten produce, and then how long it stays fresh in the fridge. And Johnny's doing an amazing job with this with the berries right now. And it's been really fun to watch, seeing like when it goes bad compared to how it stays fresh in the fridge. Just something fun to do. You can even do like a point of view. Those are really trendy right now. A point of view, you're opening your fridge and you're so excited to pull out leftovers because you can actually see what's in them in the glass. Like that'd be a super cute video. Really no prep involved. You probably already have it in your fridge with leftovers. just thinking about how you're using it every day in day-to-day life, that's really fun and on trend. And then you can also do something with the fast snack. So that one, I would use any of those recipes that Jenny gave us. That'd be a really fun way to tie that in. Next slide, please. You can also ask it to give you kitchen tips. And there's two ways you can do this. So one, you can turn each of the tips that they give you into a reel, or you can go in the copy and paste party, either of the groups, whatever posts are there. Let's say they're talking about pantries and module mates and storage. So I would go into the AI, be like, hey, what is a fun pantry tip that I can give? And that would be a fun way to make your post stand out from others using the copy and paste, because now you're not just using that verbiage, now you're adding a fun tip along with it. So maybe that tip is storing your baking soda in a module mate to keep it fresh so your cookies don't go flat. That would be a fun one that I learned from Loretta. But you can ask it a bunch of different ones, and they're going to give you like 10, 20 different tips. I would just pick one or two. And if you really love them all, then turn it into 20 different content pieces. Next slide, please. And then the bonus is where to find these are, you can go in the Champion Done For You Magic, you can go in the Plug and Go, and you can also, for the new AI, it's called Microsoft Copilot. It is free in the App Store, so just make sure you're finding the one that looks like a fun swirly rainbow, and it's Microsoft Copilot. And then a couple other things I wanted to share with you guys are, I was talking to Ellen about this the other day, and it was really neat because I was sending her screenshots. But what I have noticed is if you want to use AI for content and you want to have it make you flyers, you need to be very selective on how you're doing it because it's what Facebook's pushing. So let's say you are loving the text on there, because I love the fun bubble letters and I love how it adds like little bursts and stars around it. So if you like that, you can go on there and say, hey, can you make me a fun text that says this or that? Can you make me one that says last day? Can you make me one that says party specials? Can you make me one that says new drops, top days? So those new sales that came out today, I know they're not called top days, but in my mind, it's top days because they're doing Target days, they're doing Prime days. So we're going to have top days in my world. So that's something you guys can use, something fun, something catchy, but you want those little slogans and catchphrases. And then you're going to take that, you can go into Canva, you can go into any editing app, use that catchphrase and the fun bubble letters on the top of your graphic. And then on the bottom, use the regular lettering in your app, whatever app you use. I use Canva. So I would put that maybe it says this or that. And then I would say, does your produce go bad? And then I'd have a picture of rotten produce and the one that stays fresh. Like those ones that Jenny has, you can use those pictures. Kristen, I'll answer that question in 1 second. So if you have the pictures of it, so on the yes side, I would put the picture of the rotten berries, and on the no side, I'd put them in the fridge. And then you can have like a little thing that says, they've been in here for 10 days. Holy cow, they're still fresh. But because you're using the real life text and the real life photos, it is not flagging that on Facebook as AI. But if the whole thing is AI, which means you used AI generated pictures and all the text and everything on there is AI, it gets flagged. And something I personally noticed, I don't know if it's happening to everyone, I just noticed it on my post because I was playing around with this on my personal page and groups and on Instagram, all the places, that Facebook is actually lowering the reach on those posts. And a top trainer that I know had posted about, and I was reading the comments there, a lot of people in the comments are not loving AI. So I think there's a place for it, but if people aren't loving it, not that we can get away from it, but maybe we need to use it in a different way and pivot so people aren't fully scrolling on by our posts, because there's all this stuff in the news right now, like we don't want these data centers, AI, and all this stuff. We're not really probably going to stop it from happening. I'm all about AI, using it the right way, but you don't want to use it for the whole graphic because then your reach is going to go down. And also on those, I want you guys to think about it. How many times have you seen, I've seen it with Tupperware, but also other stuff, when someone uses a graphic that's all AI and photo generated on there, does the product get a little bit distorted? Does it maybe add a handle somewhere? Does it maybe add an extra finger on someone's hand or the finger in the one picture I showed to Pam today? I was like, what in the world? The finger was detached. Like it was no longer attached to the person's hand. And I was like, that's weird. I don't think it would still work to use something, but that's okay. And then another one of the pictures was missing half the handle. And I was like, we don't want to put that out there and people think, oh, this handle is going to break really easy. It's going to be really hard to use. I have to push it so hard, I have to break the handle. Our stuff's cool to use. So if you have these products in your home, take those pictures, take those videos, and then you can insert those into all different types of content. And what I do is if you save them on Canva or whatever editing app you use, Robin can probably tell us on her app that she uses if it works. I think it's called Fonto. But if you save those pictures in there, you can reuse that content over and over and over again. So when I do fridge smarts, I always use my same photos of fridge smarts. They're like 8 years old at this point, but they still work. Same thing with your module mates. So don't think you have to reinvent the wheel every time. And, oh, it's a new sale, I got to find new pictures. No. Use the pictures you already have. And then to answer your question, Kirsten, the difference between Copilot and ChatGPT is huge. I know Pam will agree with this one. ChatGPT, to me, it sounds very AI and robotic, where Copilot actually sounds like a real person, which was really cool. And after a couple times, it really gets to know you and your voice. Where ChatGPT, I feel like those are the ones that are flagged, and those are the ones that people are like, oh, that's just AI. But Copilot actually sounded like a real person, and that's why I was so excited. I was like, Pam, this is amazing. And the last thing on it, going back to Bonnie's training, if you are feeling stuck, you can use that website that she talked about. You can also use this to say, hey, I got a new team member. Can you give me a roadmap of the first 5 things I can partner with them on to launch their business? And it's actually going to help you step by step what they think you need to do. And it's really cool and very accurate because Pam did it. It was really cool to see. Thank you guys. Hope this helped.